Good morning, students. This is Neha Sharma from the Department of Mathematics at IIM University. This is our first lecture for discrete structures officially. Okay, so the code for this subject, the subject code for this subject would be CS302. Okay, so in this video, we would see what are we're going to study in this particular subject. Okay, so basically we would be discussing upon the syllabus that we have to cover for discrete structures. Okay, so let's start with the outlines. Okay, so the first thing that we would see would be the definition of discrete structures. So we would take a very brief, very small, quick idea of what discrete structure actually is. Then we would see what is the syllabus for discrete structures as a whole. Then we would go unit wise. Okay, so we would first see the first unit, its contents and its applications. So okay, so first we would see the contents and then we would see the applications. Then we would do this with unit second, third, fourth, fifth, and then we would see the references for the course. Okay, so basically because this is the first official lecture, and we are discussing only syllabus into this, hence the references would be the references that you have to refer for the whole course. Okay, so it would include certain books that you can also buy for studying. Okay, so please see this video. Let's start the video. Now, what is discrete structures? We would start by uh, reading the definition first, and then we would see what actual discrete structures is. Okay, so discrete mathematics is the study of mathematical structures that are fundamentally discrete rather than continuous. So we would study here the mathematical structures. Okay, so basically discrete mathematical structures would be dealt over here. Now, what are mathematical structures, or what are, for that matter, discrete mathematical structures? Okay, so basically, let's take an example of a mathematical structure, okay, and then we would understand. So, the basic mathematical structure that we can have would be a small set, okay. Now, what is a set? Set is the collection of certain objects, okay. So, let's suppose we have taken certain objects, we have collected them. Then we would see how the then we would see what are the number of objects in the sets. Okay, what operations we can apply in the sets. Okay, so study of that thing is, okay, study of the operation of a set. Okay, would be known as the study of mathematical structure. So basically, if you take a set, okay, a simple set or a set with certain properties, certain operations, okay, and then you would study them. So that is known as the study of mathematical structure. Okay, so let's read out the definition again. Discrete mathematics is the study of mathematical structures that are fundamentally discrete rather than continuous. So we would take only discrete object sets, okay, into consideration. In discrete mathematics, the study of basic concepts dealing with different kinds of discrete objects, okay, and common terminology for them would be done. So basically, we would see the mathematical structures that are discrete in nature first. Then second, we would say common terminologies that we use in mathematics for them. Okay. Then we would see certain operations on them, their properties, their examples in real life. Okay, and hence, like this, we would go in discrete structures. Okay, I hope the definition of the discrete structures is clear up till now. Okay, so let's move forward to the syllabus. Okay, so we would have 5 units. The first unit would have set theory, relations, functions, and theorem-proving techniques. Now, set theory, relations, and functions have already been studied by you in your previous years, like 11, 12 standards. Okay, so of course the topic is same, okay, but we would of course add something to that. Okay, so we have studied set theory, relations, functions, and certain theorem proving techniques also, but we would revise them first and then we would add certain more topics or things to these topics. Okay, so first unit would be a revision unit plus some addition. to it also. Okay, now let's come to the second unit, which is algebraic structures. Now, what are algebraic structures? First, see that. Now the basic algebraic structure can be a set. Okay, now if we add certain properties or certain operations to a set. Okay, so basically we have taken a set, maybe a set of natural numbers or something, and then we have taken an operation, let's suppose addition. Okay, and we have make a set like this, that set of natural numbers. Okay, uh, with an operation. Okay, so this set would be known as a group. Okay, which follows certain properties also. So basically there are certain kinds of properties that you have to follow to be a group. Okay, so a set with certain properties would be known as a group. So we would so that would be the first algebraic structure that we can study. Okay, so we would study that over here. Then if we add certain more properties to group, okay, it would become ring. So we would study that also over here. Then if you add certain more properties to a ring, it would become a field. So we would study that also. So basically, what are algebraic structures? Algebraic structures are sets with certain properties. Okay, so that we would study in the unit 2. Then let's see what we have to see in unit 3rd. So it is propositional logic. Okay, now what is propositional logic? When we say propositional logic, it includes two words, proposition and logics. Okay, now what is proposition? Proposition uh, Propositions are certain statements. So basically, we would take certain statements, okay, or propositions. So the statements are only known as the propositions. So we would take certain statements, okay, and apply certain operations to them. So those operations would be known as logics, okay. Now statements which are known as propositions and operations that are known as logics, okay. So so this propositional logic would mean uh, you would apply operations on the propositions, okay, on the statements, okay. So in unit 3rd we would study propositions with certain logics. Okay, now this unit is very important for you all because this is computer science, because you belongs to computer science department, and these logics would be studied. You would need this subject in some other computer science subject also. So basically, whenever you have to see gates and all, NOR gates and OR gates, वगैरह, there you would use these propositional logics and things like that. Okay. Hence, this unit would be very much useful for you all. Okay. Now let's see what we have to study in the unit 4. Okay, so unit 4, in unit 4 we have to see graph theory. Now what is graph? If Okay, if you sorry, if you take a set, okay, and if you take many sets and many sets, and then you would make a graph upon that. Okay, and you study how the graph is uh, being working with, okay, so that is known as the graph theory. So in unit 4 we would see graph theory. Okay, now, let's see what we have to study in Unit 5. In Unit 5, we have to study posets, okay, combinatorics, and generating functions. Now, what are posets? Okay, this topic, posets, is being studied in unit 1 also a little bit, unit 4 also a little bit. So basically POSIX is a part of graph theory and set theory. Okay, since this is known as POSET, it is a kind of set. Okay, hence we would study that in unit 1 also a little bit. And also because POSITs can be shown in terms of graphs, okay, in lattices, in terms of graphs. That's why we would and that is a sub part of graph theory also. So basically poset is not a different topic altogether. It would be a sub part of unit 1 and unit 4 uh, combinedly. Okay, and then the second thing is combinatorics. Okay, so I hope everybody is familiar with permutations and combinations. So basically, certain topics related with that we would study over here. Then the third thing is generating functions. Now, what are generating functions? So basically, functions that generate certain other functions would be generating functions. Okay, so we would study that over here. So Unit 5 is not a part altogether. Okay, so basically, this would include three topics: posets, combinatorics, and generating functions. Okay, all the three are different small topics. Okay, that you have to study in this unit. Now let's see the unit-wise division of all the units. Okay. Now in unit one, what you have to see, you have to study four things. The first one is set theory. Second one is relations. Third one is functions, and the fourth one is theorem proving techniques. Now, what you have to study in set theory? So we have to see the definition of sets, countable and uncountable sets, Venn diagrams, proofs of some general identities on sets. Okay, so you have to see that. Okay, now you're good with a definition of sets, but we would revise it here also. Then this countable and uncountable set, I'm not sure you have already studied that or not, but we would study that in detail over here. Okay, because this has a lot of significance in next topics. Then we would see certain Venn diagrams. Then we would see certain proofs of general identities. Okay, so we have certain identities like and properties like associativity, commutativity, and many more properties like that. So we would see certain general proofs of them. Okay. Then the second topic is relations. Okay, so for relation, we would see definition, types of relations, composition of relations, and pictorial representation of the relation. Then we would see equivalence relation, that is the most important topic in relations. Then we would see partial ordering relation. Okay, now this partial ordering relation is has something to do with the poset that we have to study in the fifth unit. Okay, so a partial ordering relation we would study. This I hope you're all are not familiar with. Okay, then we would see job scheduling problem. Okay, then let's see what you have to study in functions. For functions, you have to see definition, types of functions, one and non-true functions. Okay. Then inverse function, composition of functions, and recursively defined functions. And then we have to study the pigeonhole principle. Okay. I hope up till composition of functions, you have studied that. So we would revise those topics, okay, in details, and then recursively defined function. I hope you have not studied any time in your life. So we would see that, and then pigeonhole principle also we would see that's very new to you. Okay, then in theorem proving techniques, what you have to study, you have to see the mathematical induction. Okay, so we would see what mathematical induction is, and then we would see certain questions over that. Okay, now let's see certain applications of Unit 1. Okay, uh, I hope when you see the topics of Unit 1, you would obviously have guessed what applications of that is there. Okay, but let's discuss certain applications over here also. So, in mathematics, it is used in the subjects like topology. So, basically, we have a subject called topology in mathematics. Okay, and that is totally based upon this Unit 1. Okay, so basically topology is a subject where you study more discrete sets in very much details. Okay, so that is topology. Okay, but this is a mathematical usage. Okay, so obviously most of you are not going to pursue mathematics anywhere down the line, so that would not be of any use for you so far. Okay. The second use that we can see is a security system where a password must be provided entering is a one-one is a one-one function. Sorry. Okay. So basically, if there is maybe a phone or maybe a system or device where you have to put a password. Okay. So that would be a one-one function. Okay. So you provide the password and the lock would be opened. Okay, so that's a one function. So basically that's a use of functions in that matter. Okay, relations and mainly functions and enormous applications in our day-to-day life also. Okay, maybe a very small example that we can take, but obviously these small examples would have bigger applications in when you go in industry also. Okay, so temperature as a function of various factors like time, season, etc. So basically, obviously, if it is a morning time, the temperature would be different. If it's a daytime, it would be more higher, and if it's an evening time or maybe midnight time, it would go lower. Okay, so uh, basically temperature would be a function of time or maybe season or many other factors like that. So here also functions have been used. Okay, now let's see this. In computer science, sets with algebraic operations leads to the foundation of Boolean algebra, which in terms is used in designing of digital electronic circuits. So basically, I hope a little bit of knowledge of digital electronic circuits maybe you would be having. So in that also we use something called Boolean algebra. Okay, and Boolean algebra is totally based upon sets and theorems. Okay, so so basically these small concepts would have larger applications in real life if you see. So let's see the unit 2. Okay, so here you have to see algebraic structures mainly. Okay, so what's algebraic structures? So what is algebraic structure? We would see the definition, then we would see certain properties, then we would see certain types. Okay, now in types, what is there? Semi groups. Okay, monoids, groups. Okay, this is the main topic, which is group. For group, you have to see certain smaller groups, which is semi group and monoid. Okay, then we would see abelian group, properties of groups, subgroups, and cycle groups. Okay, so these are basically groups only. Then we would see cosets, factor groups. So basically, these are also groups, but we have to study many kinds of group in unit 2. Okay, then we would see rings and fields. Now, rings is an extended part of a group also only, and is an extended part of ring only. Okay, so we would see the definition and certain results based upon that. So basically this would be a theoretical unit that you would deal with. Now let's see certain applications for of unit 2. Okay, so in robotics, these groups with special kind of properties is being obviously used. Okay, so in robotics, it is being used. It is being used in medical image analysis also. Okay, in Galois theory, what is Galois theory? Galois theory is a mathematical subject. Okay, which takes into consideration the uh, basic concept of group theory. Okay, so group theory when understand when you study group theory in very much detail, that would lead to a subject called Galois theory. Okay, then in computer graphics, okay, in computer graphics, this group theory and fields are very importantly being used. And then cryptography. Okay, now what is cryptography? Okay, in cryptography also it is being very much used. So basically, cryptography is assigning certain patterns, okay, or certain codes to any sort of software or any sort of thing. Okay, so that is cryptography. That's a very important subject if you want to pursue research in your field. Okay, so here also this group theory and rings fields have been immensely used. Now let's see the third unit, which is the logic. Okay, so you would see propositions. I have already discussed this nicely. Okay, so we would have to study statements. Okay, then we have to study certain logics. Okay, so basically logical operations you have to see. Then you would see truth tables. Okay, so for every operation we would see certain truth tables. Okay, then tautologies. Okay, so if all the values in the truth tables are true, then then that's known as tautology. So we would see tautology, contradictions. Okay, algebra of propositions. So basically, obviously how to operate those propositions or statements is what you have to study in algebra proposition. Then we would see logical implications. Now, what are logical implications? So we have certain logic. So basically we have certain operations. Now if those operations are being applied to certain statements, what would they imply? Okay, so implications may, so we have two maybe kind of implication. Okay, so we have to study those. Okay, then we have to study logical equivalence. So two statements, okay, two complex statements would be logically, when they would be logically equivalent, we would see that. Then we would see predicates. Okay, okay. Then we would see certain normal forms. Now this topic is very much important. Okay, questions. Many a times questions have been asked on these normal forms. So this is very important as far as questions are being concerned. Then we would see universal and existential quantifiers. Okay, we would say that. Then we would have an introduction to finite state machine. Okay, so okay, finite state machines. Okay, so this is also a very important topic that is being used further in computer science. Okay, now let's see it over here. The applications of Unit 3. So mostly Unit 3. Okay, so this logics topic is being used in artificial intelligence and constructing computer programs. Okay, so this is the basic topic that is immensely being used in all the computer science topics. Okay, so it is being used in computer science, computer programs, uh, designing computer circuits, designing computing machines, building up expert systems, and also intelligence. So I have purposely taken all the subjects that are being related to computer science only, because obviously I know that I'm going to teach computer science people. Okay, now let's see it over here. In Unit 4, we would see graph theory. What do we have to study in graph theory? It would be the introduction, then some terminologies that we would use. Then we would see planar graphs, multigraphs, weighted graphs, isomorphic graphs. So basically, isomorphism is equivalence only. Okay, so when we want to equate two systems, then we would use isomorphism. Okay, then we would see what are paths, cycles, connectivity, shortest path in weighted graphs, okay, and things like that. So we would study all those topics in graph theory. Then we would see Eulerian paths and circuits, Hamiltonian paths and circuits, then how to color the graph so that you can easily identify what you have to do. Okay, so basically this graph coloring has a very important use in real life. We would see that also. Okay, chromatic number. Okay, that is also something to relate with graph coloring only. Then we would see isomorphism and homomorphism in graphs only. Okay. Now let's see the applications of Unit 4 also. So it is immensely being used in networking. So networking and website designing are something that graph theory is mainly being used. Now it is also being used in image processing, designing database, and also this uh, uh, flow diagrams in software engineering. Also, so basically graphs are being used in drawing and designing things. Okay, so like this, it would be used in computer science subjects. Now let's see the final unit. Okay, so here we have to study. This first topic is basically related with sets and graph theory. So posets, we would see certain posets, okay, partially orderly sets, and then we would see the hash diagram. So that's something to do with graphs. Okay, then we would see lattices. Okay, so basically we would introduce them. We would see ordered sets, hash diagram. Okay, then isomorphic order set, well ordered set, properties of lattices. Okay, so this we would study in Unit 5. Okay, then we would see combinatorics. Here we would introduce this, then we would see permutation and combination, then binomial theorem, multinomial coefficients, recurrence relation. So I hope we have an idea, all the students have an idea of permutation, combination, and binomial theorem. We would see this new. Now, the last topic is generating functions. So here we would introduce the recurrence relation and recursive algorithms. Okay. Uh, then we would see linear recurrence relations with constant coefficients. Then we would see homogeneous solution, particular solution, okay, total solution, and generating functions. So basically, we would see certain functions over here that would generate some other functions. So okay, we would study generating functions in detail over here. Let's see the applications for these also. Okay, so because it involves the topic of sets and graph theory also, and the application of those are discussed in the previous units only. Hence, we have only take a combinatorics over here in the application of Unit 5. So this is being used in generating functions for encryptions. Okay, so whenever you have to encrypt something, okay, so here this is being used. Okay, so basically this topic is being used in the last topic, which is generating functions. So combinatorics is used in generating functions. Okay, for encryption. Now, the second application that we could see is combinatorics problem can be solved by using generating function. Okay, so generating function can also be used in solving these problems. Okay, then this combinatorics is very useful in graph theory only, graph theory also. So basically, all of these topics are being studied in a unit altogether, because these are helpful for each other in one or the other way. Okay, that's why we have taken that's why it is being designed like this, that you have to study all of these topics in one unit. I hope the syllabus and the topics that we have to study is very much clear, and also seen many applications that can be there, that are there associated with all of these topics. Okay. Now, this is very important. Please see the references for your course. Okay, so my personal favorite book is CLU. Okay, Elements of Discrete Mathematics by CLU. This is being published by Tata McGraw-Hill edition. Okay, this is the book that I follow. Okay, this is a very nice book. If you wanted to purchase a book for the subject, please go for CLU only. Okay, now this decagen also we can refer. Okay, here the topic is being given in a very simplified manner. Okay, uh, and also for exam point of view, uh, uh, questions have been given very nicely in decagen, so we can refer to this book also. And also there are certain more books of Indian authors that you can refer, like D.C. Agrawal and many more books like that. Okay, I have not given here the name because officially these four books are your reference books. Okay, you can obviously refer to this these three books also. Here, Kenneth H. Rosen is also a very nice book. Okay, so we can obviously refer to any of these books, but first and the fifth one would be, if somebody wants to buy, you can buy from first or fifth one. Okay, I would expect everybody to buy at least one of the books, so that it is very easier to like study. Okay, uh, I hope the syllabus and the topics are very much clear. Thank you so much for watching this. We would officially start our topics from the next video. Okay, thank you and have a nice day. Study hard and be safe.